NYPA, it's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter, spin his web into a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave you shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. I blocks it deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Holton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up a question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue card for direction, just team on their grind time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, and murder it for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio, season 15 premiere, the final chapter. Before I get into everything, I don't know, on my end, the camera's kind of blurred. There's something wrong with the camera through Riverside. So I do apologize if I'm coming in looking a little weird or sounding a little off. There's something on their end. I don't know what they're working on. So I do apologize if I look a little blur or one side is darkened out or whatever. It's not me, it's what they did. Something they're doing on their end and within their platform. So I do apologize the look. And hopefully the sound is clear and so forth. I did realize last week, and I thought I had the audio up for the intro to come in, and I didn't. I'm not very tech savvy. So I do apologize about that. I thought the applause came in, and I thought, the music was playing to edit that in later. So I do apologize about that. But the look here, I don't know what's going on with them. But it's kind of blacked out on one side, and I don't know. It's something with Riverside. So I do apologize to look for this week's episode of NYP Entertainment Radio. So this is my season 15 premiere. This is the final chapter. This is the final road. This is it. In 3 months, I will be ending this show for good. Originally, I wanted to just ride out until December and not acknowledge the 15th season. But I changed my mind. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I worked hard to keep the show going through the ups and downs and equipment problems and lack of co-hosts who decide to disappear into thin air, never to be seen or heard from again. Different bullshit like that. But I wanted to end, on my own accord and do it my way. And so this is the last round. Like I said, in 2026, I'll be back up with the new podcast. It's Who is Kyle Graham? But I'm closing this chapter, this book, come December this year, 3 months from now. But I want to acknowledge the 15th season because as of September 26th, 15 years, NYP Entertainment Radio has been on the air through the place up in the Bronx, through Blog Talk, through Sweep Studios, through Blog Talk again, and here on Riverside. And I kept it going, with or without that individual who I do give credit to co-creating the show. And that's where it ends. I'm not going to get into all that. We all know the story. But I wanted to end on my accord. And some people, and I'm hearing, I read it, and people saying, oh, he's not the same since the other guy left, and this, that, and the other. And that's fine. You can have your own opinions and so forth, but I'm still keeping it going through faulty equipment and all. Like I said, look weird. I'm looking at the camera, and something's going on with Riverside again. And I do apologize. As long as you can hear me, because if you don't have to watch me, you can hear the audio version of it. So that's why I posted on Spotify the audio version of NYP Entertainment Radio. So, even if you're driving or whatever, you don't have to look at me while the shows are going on. I come in crystal clear, and I'm saying everything fine. That's all that matters to me. That get the message out, so to speak. But I am celebrating 15 seasons of NYP Entertainment Radio. It's been a long journey, and like I said, it's bittersweet to close this chapter at the end of the year. And and I really had to think it through on what I wanted to. Let me adjust this blurry camera. Sorry, guys. And I really had to think it through on what I wanted to do uh, with this Ignition 15th season. And I thought it, and I was like, nah, I'm going to do that. After all the ups and downs and obstacles I've faced, putting the show together, keeping it going, and all that other stuff, I want to go out the way I want to. So this is my 15th season doing it, wrapping it up. Like I said, it's going to be a short season. And I appreciate everyone those of you who have supported, continue to support the show, and hopefully will follow me over when I do my own thing, when it's all my show and so forth. My reasoning for shutting down the show, and I'll bring it up when I do the final episode, is it's something where, like, I had to close the book. It's too much of a stigmata of with the other co-host, and I was like, I can't. I just something I ran it went longer than I expected it to be. A lot of times I thought I was going to shut it down more sooner than later, and even more recently I thought I was like, I don't want to do it no more or do podcasts anymore. Period. But I like what I do, and I like doing this, and I just like, well, maybe just I have to just do it in another way, on another show, and just shut it down, logo and everything, and kind of and pretty much start from scratch. And that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to start from scratch, and in 2026, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully, what I have in mind of creating will be successful. I'm very proud of this show. I'm very proud of the work I have put in to continue to do the show on a weekly basis. No matter how I felt or whatever the case may be, or whatever I dealt with equipment wise, I did my best to make sure that a show was was put together and try to be as entertaining as possible. But I thank you guys out there for those who love and hate me, who love the show, hate the show, hate me, love the show, miss the other guy, don't miss the other guy. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm very proud of what we have created, and I'm very proud of what I've continued to broadcast these past 15 years of doing NYP Entertainment Radio. And here's to another 20 plus and more with who is Kyle Ram and other ventures that I'm working on and trying to get back into. Been kind of sidelined because life be life and things be happening and so forth and so on. But again, thank you. And here we are, starting over again. And like I said, this week's episode is called 15th season premiere, the final chapter. That's it. There's no coming back. When I shut it down, shut it down. If someone takes over the name or whatever, that's fine. But it's been a blast. It's been a ride, a hell of a ride doing this. All the great guests and people that I've met and have worked with doing NYPA Entertainment Radio. I'm a little distracted by how this camera is just blurred. I don't know what Riverside is doing. Hopefully, when I edit it, it is more cleaned up. But again, I do apologize. It's something that they're doing on their end. As always, have equipment problems. But as long as you can hear my melodious voice, that's all that matters to me. You ain't gotta stare and watch me. That's why I have an option of audio or video for NYPA Entertainment Radio. Without further ado, we'll jump into it. So Jimmy Kimmel came back on the air this week. They let him back on this past Tuesday and eventually lifted the ban in all syndications. And of course, he came back with huge rousing applause and huge ratings and so forth. And it really shows a testament of when we come together and you take people's rights away who speak their mind, whether you like it or not, and where it can go when those rights are in the wrong place, in the wrong hands, so to speak. You know what I mean? But it's good to see him back. I'm not a big Kimmel person in terms of the show. It depends on what guest he has on. I might watch this segment or something. I watched the monologue just to see the reaction of the crowd and his emotions and so forth, and it's really dope. But I'm not, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not really a Jimmy Kimmel person. I'm not really late night guy, period. Normally, whether it's the weekend or not, I'm tired from working all week. But by that time, I'm nodding off in the chair, or I'm like, all right, I'm done. You know what I mean? As you get older, and then the week catches up with you, especially on a Friday. Unless it's a certain guest I do want to see, I might try to fight to stay up, or I'll just try to find it on YouTube the next day just to get that interview. But they see him come back, and like I said, we all have the right to speak our mind, whether we like it or not, or whether people agree to it or not. Um, that's all right as Americans. And if you don't like what someone says, you don't listen to them. You turn it, click away, turn away, do something else, watch something else. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be subject to listen to that, or whatever the case may be. So it's good to have him back, man. It's something that we, the people, got to keep in mind, that regardless if we disagree with someone, that's okay. We shouldn't have to harm them, hurt them, make a threat. You just That's their opinion. Regardless it's hard on the ears and harsh on the ears, there's no need to like be hateful that way. Let them speak. Let them say what they want to say, because um, it doesn't shouldn't change how you feel, and it doesn't give anyone the right to go after them or whatever the case may be. So good to have Kimmel back. Let's get into the other news of what's going on. All right, let's see. I got my man Flavor Flav shares update on his sobriety following a relapse in April. Quote, "I'm back on track." Flavor Flav is opening up about sobriety following his relapse in April. The rapper spoke exclusively with people while attending the 2025 Black Music Action Coalition, the BMAC, BMA, BMAC, BMAC. I get it out, y'all. Don't laugh at me. The BMAC Gala in Beverly Hills, California, this past September 18th. During the conversation, he shared that he's, quote, back on track. Quote, "Right now it's going very well. I'm back on point. I'm back on track." You know what I'm saying? And this is the way I plan on staying for the rest of my life. Flav, who's 66 years old. He then went on to share his advice to others currently on their own sobriety journey. If you take a fall, don't lay there and stay stuck. He said, adding, you got to get up off the fall, and you have to KIM, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Operation No Choice is now in progress. Either you keep it moving or you stay stuck, and the name of the game is keep it moving. The Public Enemy co-founder shared that he had a brief relapse, and a message to fans he shared on Instagram stories on April 3rd of this year. And the post, he said he was sharing the information on social media because he wanted to hold myself publicly accountable. I remain authentic to who I am. A large part of the 4.5 years for me has been my sobriety journey. I think I've been an inspiration to many that if I could get sober, anyone can do it, he wrote. He continued, but just when you think it's easy, it ain't. I briefly relapsed. I say this to admit my mistake and publicly hold myself accountable. I am a human being and who makes mistakes, and it doesn't make me a bad person. I hope those who are around me support my choice to be sober. I went back to day one again. Time didn't stop. My journey continued, he added at the time of his post. During a 2023 appearance on Off the Record with DJ Academics, Flav revealed that prior to getting sober, he was spending $2,400, $2,600 a day for 6 years straight on drugs. He said he largely kept the drugs use hidden and outwardly maintained himself very well despite being in the throes of addiction. He ultimately began his sobriety journey in 2020. Quote, "I guess God wanted me to live, and He knows that I'm a mouthpiece to the world," he said in the interview. So I feel that God let me live through this, so that I could teach people about the mistakes that I made, and hopefully they won't make them later on in life. Um, that's good to hear. You're always, when you an addict, you're always going to be an addict. You're always going to deal with addiction, and that's what it is. And it's good to hear that he is on the right path, and he continues to walk that straight path, and try to stay clean, because it's not easy. You're an addict for life, and it's a day-to-day struggle that you have to deal with, not to fall backwards, to keep moving. And if you do slip, it happened, but don't stay there, and keep it moving. And that's true. And I'm proud of him, man. We need Flav. You know what I mean? We need Flavor Flav. I'm not ready to let him go yet. We need Flavor Flav. We need all that. We need that energy. We need to, when you see him, you smile, you laugh, and that's like what you want from him. You want him around. It's not time for him to let him go yet. And it's good to see that he's hanging in there, man. And everyone else out there who is going through this, hang in there, man. It's not easy. If you're down, you get up. You're going to slip. No one's saying you have to be perfect in what you do, and so forth. It's going to happen, but you got to rely on those who love you to help you get out whatever you're going through. And like you said, you slip, you fall, you get up. Even if you got to do day one all over again, then you do day one, and then you push on, and then you keep pushing, then you keep pushing, and then finally, at the end of the day, you know, you stand on your own 2 feet, knowing that you won that fight. You know what I'm saying? That you won that fight, and that you hung in there. And like I said, believe whatever high power you want to believe in, and get through it, and pray, and so forth. And I'm, like I said, I'm happy to hear that he's still around. And it's not easy for, I keep adjusting the camera because this thing looks horrible, and I do apologize. It's just a great thing to know that he's fighting to stay, and it's a difficult struggle when you are dealing with the thralls of addiction and so forth. So 2,400, 2,600 a day. I remember I talked about that on the show when it came out a couple of years ago. That's crazy. That's for 6 years. That's a lot of money could have went to somewhere else. You know what I mean? So, but that's what happens. You got it, and he's hiding it the best way possible, and but that's what it is. But he's on the other side of that, and I'm proud, and I'm happy to see it. I'm happy that he's still here, and I'm happy that he's still with us to entertain, and do a whole lot of other fun stuff. You know what I mean? So it's my man, Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav still around. You gotta kudos to him and others out there who are taking it day by day with their struggles. Like, it's not easy. No, it's not easy, but you guys are hanging in there. You do what you got to do. Stay in the fight. I know it's easier said than done. Just like stay with it. You know what I mean? Just stay within the fight. At the end of the day, just keep fighting, keep punching, keep going, and pray and believe whatever higher power you believe in, and just take it day by day. It'll work out. All right, what else? I think let me go back. All right. There we go. It's interesting. Trying to pull this up. Ghostface Killah's son addresses rapper's dad lack of support on a new song, but says they're not a diss. This was interesting when I came across this. Don't mistake Infinite Cole's new song for a diss track. Ghostface Killah's son released the song Sweet Face Killah and Dad and I on Wednesday, September 17th, and there was an online speculation that it would have been a diss track about the Wu-Tang Clan member who's 55 years old. Sorry, Wu-Tang Clan member who's 55 years old. The song lyrics address their complicated relationship. Quote, How you in a Mack truck, but forget you a father slash I be seeing N words hating, but I don't even bother. Is it me? Am I not your cup of tea? Are my pants not low like your self esteem? Do I need to F a bitch? Just so you can see Coles who is gay sings in Sweet Face Killer. Along with Sweet Face Killer, Coles released the song Dad and I, which seems a bit more direct. Quote, you never talk to me and I'm not living right. You tell me to man up, yeah, when I put up makeup, yeah. He sings seamlessly addressing his father, whose real name is Dennis Coles. You always ask for change but wouldn't do your part. Nobody's perfect. No, can't you see that I'm worth it? He says it better than what I'm reading. However, the song is not a diss track. Coles replied to a fan's comment on Twitter, formerly known X, formerly known as Twitter, on this past Friday, clarifying his intentions. Last Friday, I should say, September 19th, clarifying his intentions. Ghostface Killer's son, Infinite Coles, this is his son on a new track. The fan wrote, "Not a diss, but thank you so much." Coles responded. Cole's view his new song as an opportunity to tell his side of the story. It's very positive about nothing but love. I have no hate towards my father at all, he said in the interview published this past week or 2 weeks ago about his dad, about the song Dad and I. Cool, I love my father. I just wish we could connect and understand one another and respect each other. I haven't seen my father in over 10 years. I always wonder if he's okay. I wonder if he will be able to mend, we'll be able to mend or have a conversation before one of our time is up. I just always wondered. So this song is just me pouring out the last bit of light I have in me for him to reach out, added Cole. In March 2017, Cole alluded to dodging being only known as a Wu-Tang Clan member child. People work so hard to be where they want to be. He said in an interview, "My hard work was to accept myself, and once that happened, opportunities started coming to me." Years later, Coles called out Ghostface Killer in May 2023 Instagram post an attempt to contact him, while also claiming that he was a deadbeat father, claiming that he had not seen him over 10 years. "My heart has been aching and longing to be loved by you, my father for way too long. So since you are unreachable, perhaps this will get your attention," he wrote in part. Infinite Coles told Vibe magazine what he hopes will what he hopes fans will get out of Sweet Face Killer. With the album, I plan to really take off. I feel like it's my time. Something beautiful is headed my way. I feel like I stand out from lots of other artists, especially in my community, because I'm talking about things I never hear anyone talk about. He continued, "People just want to make a quick hit, but never tell us what's really going on inside their hearts. I just feel like if no one will, then I will." He also noted that the album's name, Sweet Face Killer, came from the names fans were calling him in the DMs. "I was depressed at first, but then I was like, wait, that kind of, that kind of, that kind of, that kind of, that kind of ate that." So I don't know what the fuck that means. So now that's my album name. Among other tracks and upcoming albums are DMs, Shoot, Mama Song, Thankful, and Body Strong. Sweet Face Killer is available December 5th. Okay, lots to unpack here. And I'm going to say what I normally say. Um, what I normally say when it comes to people airing out personal grievances online. Uh, to me, in my opinion, like I said, reading that and just the song itself. Before we get to the whole thing of it being not a diss track, it's the fact that, again, taking personal stuff to the public is not a good look. I think that at the end of the day, um, that if that person is not communicating with you, then you keep trying. And if they don't, then you stop. There's no need to take it public and involve everybody in your personal business. It's no one's business. To say you just want to reach out to them, that you're putting a spotlight on something that should not be out there. And again, I always question civilians and celebrities alike on why would you put such personal stuff out there to the world, only to open yourself up for comments that you down the line that you may not like or may not want to hear. At the end of the day, that's something personal. And that's something that you need to keep that I think like work that out with your father privately. I don't care about what you do in your personal life and what you orient. I don't care. But if there's something between father and son and daughter, whatever the case may be, um, talk to them. If you don't want to talk, then fine. But to grandstand, so to speak, and make a song that says not a diss song, sound like a diss song to me. You don't sound like doesn't sound like a sweet, happy pop, Papa song. And you hear the song, I haven't heard Daddy and I, but the Sweet Face Killer one, yeah, and then the lyrics I just read, even though very poorly, it sounds like a diss track to me. Um, there's unfortunately it's messed up that you two haven't spoken in 10 years, and hopefully um, you can. And for whatever reason, now people might think it's the obvious, and there's Infinite side, there's Ghostface side, and somewhere everybody is in the middle on why. We look at the obvious like, oh, well, you know why? Because he's this and this. We don't know. We don't know the whole story. We don't know what Ghostface side is. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know that much. We just look at the obvious and thinking, oh, he's dismissive of his son's way of life. We don't know that because we haven't spoken to Ghost. We don't know. We don't know the whole thing. We don't know the details. So it's easy to already, say, well, from the look of it, we know why. And that's not true, and that's not right, and that's not fair. Um, but what I think, like I said, it's something that they need to, work on by themselves privately, and really do not need to include outsiders. And I think it is a way for him to get his father's attention. And even though he denied it, I think it is. It's written there. And I'm not calling him a liar. What I'm saying is it just sounds to me like it's a cry for help. It's a cry like, I'm trying to get my father's attention. I haven't spoken to him in 10 years. Maybe this will help. And if you listen to the lyrics and read between the lines, that's pretty much what it's saying, in my opinion. I think, at the end of the day. But I don't know. To each his own, and I hope they work it out. But I still am lost on the fact that people just tend to don't mind uh, airing out their grievances to the public and just saying something very personal and private and whatever. But I hope they work it out. But if you hear the lyrics and you see it, it's the obvious. And I'm like, look, if my kid did that, would I be happy? No, because I'm a very private person naturally. So if you put my business out there or proceed to put my business out there, it's not going to edge me more to talk to you, because it's like now you're forcing me because you're like, well, I'm going to embarrass you. In my opinion, that's all my opinions, folks. I'm going to embarrass you and kind of force you into having a conversation with me. I'm going to put out there this, that, and the other, and I'm going to make you reach out to me. And sometimes it may backfire in his face and backfire in anyone's face. But I just don't understand when people decide to air out personal grievances. I don't get it. I would never get it. I don't think I'll never will understand. Um, it just doesn't, to me. It just doesn't make any sense. When I first time I saw the video, I was like, "Oh, this is not gonna go well." I didn't care what his lifestyle was, and was I surprised? I was, and then it went away fast. Like, oh, okay. But sorry, how do you respond to that? You know what I mean? Like, what do you say? Seriously, like, how would you respond to that? Because I wouldn't know how to respond to that. Because it's kind of like you putting our business out there. But there's a reason between the two, like I said, that they're not. And it's not, I don't think it's just the obvious. I think it's more to that. So hopefully we'll find out. We'll see. But if you're interested, check out the album December 5th. Sweet Face Killer is dropping. You can pre order it. And check out Sweet Face Killer. Dad and I'm sure the singles are somewhere Spotify, YouTube. And you make the judgment call. You make the judgment call if it's a diss track or not. You make the judgment call. Is a cry for help to get attention, which I think it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think there's a better way of doing it. Than airing your dirty laundry loud. I keep saying that. I can't beat that. I can't say enough about how I think that's just. I just think people shouldn't do that. Like, you got a personal beef with someone, take it up with them privately. You don't have to involve the whole world in it. But I'm different. Doesn't make my way right or wrong. It's just I don't understand it. I just couldn't do it that way. Quite frankly, I just I don't understand. I couldn't do it that way. So what are you gonna do? I don't know, man. I couldn't do that. All right, what else? All right, I'm quiet because I'm pulling up something. Kenan Thompson, artist. Kenan Thompson, artist for artists, developing biopic of Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh yeah. It's not a very good Macho Man impersonation. Who does a very good Macho Man impersonation? And comedian Dan Soder. Sound just like him. A man that's so funny in general. He does a great Andre the Giant and a great Macho Man. Anyway, artist for artist, the production company of Kenan Thompson and Johnny Ryan Jr. is delivering a feature biopic of iconic wrestler Macho Man Randy Savage, which we can tell you first. This is Deadline. Thompson and Ryan Jr. come to the project titled Macho as lifelong fans of Savage. Thompson, having worked with Savage on a Nickelodeon promo all the way back in 1999, the project stems from a completed script by Savage's brother Lanny Poffo, who died in February 2023, and Eric Shapiro. Thompson and Ryan Jr. were produced alongside Paul Coy Allen of Midas Entertainment Group, with Jonathan Davino of Immaculate, Corey Litwin, Boris Schwartz, and Monica Weber, executive producing Range Select, with also producing Range Select will handle sales on the project. Born Randy Mario Poffo, Macho Man Randy Savage is one of the most influential figures in professional wrestling from the 70s through the early 2000s. The son of wrestler and wrestling promoter Angelo Poffo, he initially chased a baseball career, even spending time in the farm system of the St. Louis Cardinals and Cincinnati Reds. But after a shoulder injury derailed those ambitions, he redirected his athletic drive towards wrestling, adopting the name Macho Man in the Ring. Starting in the mid-1970s, Savage carved a path through regional promotions, sharpening a larger-than-life persona with which he goes on to captivate audiences worldwide. He signed with the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, in the mid-'80s, and later brought his trademark intensity to the World Championship Wrestling, WCW, being named the World Heavyweight Champion 6 times over the course of his decades in both. Largely stepping back from wrestling in the early 2000s, Savage died of a sudden heart attack while driving in Florida at just 58 years old in May of 2011. He was posthumously inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2015. While his story has been documented in specials from WWE as well as A&E biography, WWE Legends, and miscellaneous other books and documentary projects, it's never been told in the form of a narrative feature until now. In a statement of Deadline, AFA's Ryan Jr. said, Macho Man Randy Savage was the greatest showman of all time and the OG bad boy of entertainment. His outfits were as electric as his personality, and he's so much more than an artist. He's an icon. Laddie and Eric did a great job capturing the story and the crazy '80s wrestling era that turned wrestling figures into lifelong pop culture icons. Ryan Jr. partner Thompson told Deadline, beyond excited for this one. Macho Man is hands down one of the greatest of all time, and can't wait to to the bring his story to the screen. Said Midas Entertainment Group, Allen. Some stories come once in a lifetime, not just to be sold, but to be ignited. Macho is one of those rare stories that electrifies across generations. We are honored to partner up with AFA and Range Media to share Randy's story with the world. News of AFA Macho Man movie follows word of their developing a remake of Sleepaway Camp, the cult classic '80s slasher from filmmaker Robert Hizik, who is back to direct from his own script, Emmy nominated for Olympic highlights with Kevin Hart and Kenan Thompson. The company has moved to aggressively expand its film and TV slate several years into the existence as Thompson continues to juggle his commitment to Saturday Night Live with his other projects. Your Keen ain't going nowhere. He's not leaving Saturday Night Live anytime soon. This is dope. I'm a Macho Man Randy Savage fan. I'm a wrestling fan, period. Anyone who knows me, whether it's WWE, AEW, MLW, TNA, whatever. I like professional wrestling. I've been a fan of professional wrestling since I was a kid. I appreciate the athleticism, the artistry, the storytelling, and what they put their bodies through, men and women alike. And I'm looking forward to this. I think it's dope that Keenan is a part of it. And being a Macho Man Randy Savage fan, and I've seen all the documentaries and read the articles and all that stuff. To see a screen version of it will be dope. To see who may be playing him, and kind of see it through the eyes of his brother Lanny, who's known as Leaping Lanny Poffo, will be interesting. So they haven't announced when it's going to come out. They haven't announced who's like playing Randy, whoever. But I'm sure it'll probably be out 27 or 28 with the help of WWE, who has a lot of like footage of Randy being in WWE and WCW and other promotions. So I'm sure there's a lot of licensing that they have to receive from WWE to get permission to show likenesses and so forth and so on. Because it's biopic. And you want to do it right. I mean, you could take the cheap way, a roundabout way, and do it and be kind of flimsy. But if you're going into the screen, you want to make sure it's good. So you're going to have to talk to WWE and get the licensing of their logo and other IPs of characters and so forth that people want to see that Randy dealt with behind the scenes and so forth with his ex-wife Elizabeth and all that stuff and his on the screen, off screen, on again, off again friendship with Hulk Hogan, who recently passed last month. So I'm excited for Kenan Thompson. I'm excited for wrestling fans, Randy Macho Man Savage fans, to see this. I think it's going to be good. And when I read it, it's dope. And Randy was very very. If you watch the documentaries, you know about him. He's a very particular dude who took his job seriously. He was very, very protective of his late ex-wife Elizabeth. Very protective, like overprotective of her, and I'm sure they're going to show that in the film because that's a key thing. Always came out very intense, but at the end of the day, from what I heard, was a good guy and had a great heart and so forth. So I'm excited to see it and happy. I'm so sorry, you guys. This camera is bothering me. I'm so happy. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see who plays him. Like I said, they didn't give the time it's going to come out, so I'm thinking 27, 28 minus delays. and we'll see what happens. Shout out to Kenan Thompson, who always doing a lot of things, and although he can, he although he can, he sticks it out with SNL. So I think this might be he might be going into his 19th season, maybe 19th or 20th season. I don't know, or 21st. I think he just wanted to see how long he could be. He's like the longest cast member in history. A lot of people do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My man is like in the stretch nines, like stretch teens and late teens, early 20. Like he can leave anytime, but he stays. And having that job is not easy, but he knows the ins and outs. Like being there, and I've heard the stories in documentaries. With Saturday Night Live, it's not easy. You're fighting each week to get sketches done, and it's stressful and the whole nine. Although it's fun and it's a dream, and it takes you to the next level as a platform. It's very competitive. It's very stressful at times. Um, you know, People have quit because of the stress. It's dog eat dog when it comes trying to fight to get your sketch on the screen and all that stuff. So kudos to him for sticking through it and still hanging in there, being one of the mainstays on SNL and one of the funny ones. And he's seen him come, he's seen him go. And that's definitely someone one day down the line I would not mind talking to, because I'm sure he got stories for days, like just behind the scenes, funny stories with celebrities and who was a great host, who was a lousy host, all types of stuff. I'm sure he got some funny stories. So I can't wait for the Randy Poffo, well, his real name, Randy Savage movie Macho to come out soon, and Macho definitely deserves his balloons. Um, in the world of professional wrestling, and we'll see. It should be good. Hopefully, it's good. We shall see. And like I said, either in 27 or in 28, the film will come out. In my opinion, might be out by 27, and I know it's not gonna be out at 26. That I have the strangest feeling won't be. So I'm saying 27, 28 is coming out, in my opinion. So we shall see. All right, moving on. JEEZY makes history with a live orchestra tour, says Vegas residency is for the West Coast. This here. Grammy-nominated artist JEEZY Jenkins is celebrating a major milestone. His major label debut, Thug Motivation 101, is celebrating his 20th anniversary. He's been on the road celebrating this achievement with a unique experience for fans, performing his hits with a live orchestra. It's also sold out in every city. Everybody came out. It was a black tie event. He gushes to Melvin Robert on the KTLA5 morning show. It was great for culture, where I come from. We only wear suits to funerals and in court. This is a celebration of 20 years, so I love to see my people dressed up to the nines and celebrating 20 years of greatness, not just an album, but 20 years of them. His longevity and success decades later have shown him the benefits of trusting his instincts. Quote, it shows when you stick to your gut, you stick to who you are, you're unapologetically you stay in line with integrity. It all comes back around 20 years later, he explained. The orchestra element is the first of its kind. He's working with the Color of Noise Orchestra, Adam Blackstone, and Derek Hodge. Quote, we made history together, he touted. This isn't the first time he and Blackstone collaborated. They worked together on a symphonic, I get it out, y'all, symphonic version of Thug Motivation 101, which is available for fans to listen to in the comfort of their own home. if there's one thing about Jeezy, he keeps pushing the envelope. He's taking the show to Planet Hollywood and Las Vegas for a residency for 2 different sets of shows, which he refers to as tiers. The Masquerade is the first tier, which takes place on October 31st and November 1st, and is described as a fall-themed spectacular. He then returns for the second tier in December for the winter-themed Nutcracker, which takes place on December 19th and 21st. Shows also include one-on-one Peace Orchestra paying homage to Thug Motivation 101. We're about to make history and pushing culture, he said. While many have preconceived notions about going to an orchestra, I'm going to read that again. While many have preconceived notions about going to an orchestra, Jeezy is short, it's a party. This is not a show. This is not a rap concert. This is an experience, he advised fans. So put on your black tie, your evening gown, and let's have a great time. Let's have some fun. He also revealed just why he decided to head to Sin City. This is actually for the West Coast, he explained. I didn't come anywhere near the West Coast on this tour, and I wanted to set up somewhat stables so that we can bring the one-on-one Peace Orchestra for the West Coast. Anybody else is welcome, but this is a West Coast show. I'm talking to the Bay Area. I'm talking to Northern California, Southern California. I mean, wherever you are on the West Coast, Denver, Seattle. Alongside the residency comes new music. He's releasing this new album, Still Snowing, on his birthday, which already came out. Well, actually, today, September 28th, which is a new Gangsta Grills collaboration with D-Day Drama, a longtime collaborator. The Soul Survivor rapper will be doing a live Instagram release for the project too. Anybody who knows me in drama history, we started off selling mixtapes together. That shows I got here, and this is to celebrate 20 years as well. He called it a birthday present to himself. The best-selling author also noted how rare it is for an artist to release an album on a Sunday. That's why I tell kids, stay independent, stay you, because nobody's ever dropped the album on a Sunday, he said. Jeezy will be hosting this virtual party with DJ D Nice from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. For tickets to Jeezy's TM 101 Live, The Masquerade, and TM 101 Live, The Nutcracker, go to his website and they'll let you know. So there you go. For the West Coast. And anybody else who wants to go out to Vegas and celebrate Jeezy. I like Jeezy. Jeezy's dope. You know what I mean? My favorite Jeezy song is Crazy World. Jeezy has done a lot in his career, and he stand on his own 2 feet, and he had different streams of revenue, and I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying? So, I love the title Still Snowing because he's a snowman. That's Jeezy, which is crazy. Well, we know what snow means, because he's from the West Coast. He's not from the East Coast, so we know what the snow means. He calls himself the snowman. It ain't because he's from Midwest or somewhere cold. De la cocaína, the yayo. But if you're around, man, go check out Jeezy. Go to Vegas. Check out his new album, Still Snowing. And I think today, because as I'm doing the show today, September 28th, which is his birthday, go to his Instagram. Is it 5 p.m. 7 p.m. Pacific time? Check it out, which is like 8 o'clock our time, 8 and 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He's doing something virtual with DJ D Nice, celebrating his birthday, celebrating the new album, Still Snowing, and a lot of other things. And then if you're around in October, November, and December, go out to the Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas and celebrate Jeezy. And Black Tie Affair, being classy, having fun. And it's true. The only time we wear suits is like the court or funeral, and this time you can just go celebrate and have fun and enjoy some good music and so forth. So that's really dope for Jeezy, man. I'm very proud of him and what he does and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So go check it out. Go check it out. Before I wrap things up, say a few things. It's a short version of a show, like it was an hour, maybe shorter today. Originally, like I said, when I saw this setup with the camera, I wasn't going to do it. Like I was no, but I told you guys that I will. That I was going to do the show. So I always try to, unless something comes up, try to let you guys know if I'm going to do the show or not. Let something at the last minute happen, like life be life, and then what have you. But I was like, let me at least get it out because at least you have the audio version of the show. So here you are. So what I'm going to just heard my daughter laugh loud on the phone. Um, well, what I want to say is that, and like I said it earlier, forgive me if it's not like I'm repeating myself, but I really want to say this, and I say this every year. And normally I will go tell stories and so forth, but I've had a hell of a ride doing this show as I wrap it up, and it hasn't hit me yet until I do the final. I don't have a date yet when I'm going to shut it down for good. It's going to be right before the holidays. And I don't have a date yet for the premiere of Who is Kyle Graham, but it will be in 2026. Not too late to 2026, but it will be sometime in 2026. So I'm starting from the ground up again. I'm an independent show. You know what I mean? So everything, logo, music, the whole nine. Um, it's independently done. I appreciate everything for the past 15 seasons. I put a lot of work in putting this show together. I sacrificed a lot to do this. And I hope that each week and each episode you have listened to and can listen to, I've been entertaining as possible. And I do my best. My goal each week is to entertain you the best way possible, the best way. My issue I had on doing doing this format was I was not having a music playlist. That was my crutch, and I was nervous. And I had to do it. I had to switch off because a lot of platforms was not taking music because of licensing, and they got more strict and everything. And even some of my older episodes on Spotify has been taken down or whatever. That's fine. But that's like 2-3 years ago when I was on Blog Talk. I don't mind. I still have that same content. I own my content. I own it. So any past show I have it on. I have that. So I don't mind that. And if anyone wants to listen to it, reach out to me and I'll send it to you. But I originally was going to shut this down a year ago when Blog Talk was getting shut down earlier. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do anything without music because I don't want to seem like I'm rambling on. And that was my issue. And this rambling and not being entertaining. And that music playlist was my crutch. Where it's like, all right, I have nothing to say. Or if it's not like I'm rambling too much, let's play some music, kill some time. I'm talking too much. And that's what I did. And I was like, man, I'm going to. And that's what I missed. And when I started doing it without the music, I rid of the music playlist, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to wrap this show up. Let me just squeeze out another year, like give through another season. And I found out I can do it. It's still a little weird because sometimes I think in my mind as I'm talking, and I'm gonna be real with you guys, that I'm just like, oh, you're rambling because I'm very subconscious of it because I want to come off making sense. I want to be entertaining and so forth. So when it came down to me continuing, something I had to do, some deep down I knew if I stopped doing it, I would regret it. If I, you know what I'm saying? And I think there's people out there who I don't hear a lot. I do hear it, I don't hear that look forward to the show, for better or for worse. I'm very self-deprecating. I'm very humbled about what I do, and I work hard on trying to make the show bigger, better, and have goals and with this show and other things. And I appreciate every one of you guys. It's been, like I said, it's been a long journey, ups and downs. And in 2013, when I came back to Philly, and I stopped again, Um, I thought, well, I couldn't do without that other person. Although I did a lot of shows without that other person because he would always call out. Um, I still felt as though that I couldn't on a regular basis. People are going to say, "Oh, we missed the other guy," or whatever. But I was like, "This is my show," and there's a lot more stuff behind the scenes that I'm not going to get into. That I kept this thing going, and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to end it this. I'm not going to just going to end it this way. I want to go out the right way." So here I am. The next couple of months, some weekends I'm not going to do the show because I need a break or whatever. But I just feel as though that I'm very humbled and thankful for the guests I've had these past 15 seasons and the people I've met. Like I said, it's a hell of a ride. Ride's not over yet. Final chapter is here. Final ride is here. But then it goes into a new journey. Then there's open a new book and a new exploration, so to speak. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for the love and all that good stuff, and I appreciate it. And just hang in there with me. I'm not done yet. Still, this and my book, Not a Perfect Man, but a Good Man. I've been delayed getting that done. A lot of stuff done because I have my health issues and so forth. But I'm on the mend, getting better, and I appreciate it from my inner circle talking to me. And hopefully, like I said, this show each week, whatever you're going through, I try to bring some type of light into your life and make you laugh, make you think, make you yell at me or whatever. Get your mind off your problem for an hour or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for these past 15 years. And we're not done. I'm far from done. Still got the end of December before I shut it down. And like I said, so if you're listening on YouTube, watching or listening, press the subscribe button and you get notifications of NYP Entertainment Radio. And again, I apologize on how I look on how the camera looks. I don't know what's going on with Blog Talk. It's something they did or what have you. I'm looking into it a little bit later. But I think something on their end because it's coming kind of blurred. One side is blacked out or what have you. So 9 times out of 10 is their platform. They're always doing some shit. When they're trying to make it better, they make it worse. You know what I'm talking about. That guy right there, that guy right there, you know what I'm talking about. So we'll see. Get at me on social media at NYPA ENT Radio, which eventually is going to change. I'm changing that name and taking the logo down and trying to figure out a new logo and just put up who is Kyle Grams. It's just changing the name. It's going to be just going to change the name on there and start putting up the content from that show eventually. So I got got some stuff up my sleeves. This is short sleeves, but you know what I mean. So I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you so much for another episode of NYP Team Radio. Season 15 is here. I made it. Didn't think I was going to make it. The final run, the final chapter. Everyone have a great week. Whatever you're going through, like I said, believe whatever higher power you believe in. Hang in there. It'll all work out. And hopefully I did my due diligence today and you enjoyed yourself and give a little bit of positive boost and so forth. And hopefully the audio came through with the clapping and all that stuff because I thought I did it last week and it didn't go through. And I'm sitting there editing and I'm like, I didn't hear the clapping. It was like dead silence. Put the music in and it's a whole thing. But that's about it, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And that's it. Lord willing, see you next week on another episode of NYP Entertainment Radio. Season 15 seasons of attitude. There you go, 15 seasons of attitude. And that's it. So hopefully the applause come on and all that good stuff. So everyone have a good week. NYPA Entertainment Radio.